Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is L. Lauren, and I am the author of the story you're about to listen to. First, I would like to say thank you for all of your lovely comments on the Hitman's Apprentice. I'm glad you all have been enjoying it, and I want you guys to know that there are more parts. I don't know why I didn't do this, but the first book has 4 parts, and the second book has about 4 parts, which brings me to what this week's story and next week's story are. Along with The Hitman's Apprentice and The Hitman's Apprentice 2, I guess, I wrote 2 short stories inside this world, and I'm going to put them right here and this week and next week for those short stories. The first one is a prequel that happens before the events in book 1, and the second one is like a cute little intermission story between book 1 and book 2. And then after these 2 weeks, I will then put up the parts of book 2. So there's at least 4 more parts of the full story, and then the 2 short stories. What else do I have to say? That might be everything I have to say, actually. I may or may not record an intro for next week's story, so you'll have to just see. And then otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy these short stories, and I hope you guys enjoy the next parts of The Hitman's Apprentice. Thank you.
Ajax and Orion Prequel by L. Lauren. A coyly dark-haired man strolled inside the dimly lit hotel room with a paper bag clutched in his hand and a smile plastered on his face. He dumped the paper bag on the side table and raked his fingers through his tight dark curls. "I got a surprise for you." "Doubt it, love." The corners of Ajax's lips lifted into an easy smile as he glanced up from his computer and peered at the charming man in front of him. His insides tingled when their brown eyes met, and his smile spread further across his face. "Nah? Seriously? Look." He pulled 2 understated masks from the bag, smoothing the feathers fanning off the sequined edges. "Do you want purple or black?" "Black, Chris." Still smiling, Ajax slipped from the swivel office chair he had been occupying and moved across the room. He pressed his lips into the other man's, roping an arm around Chris' lean shoulders and burying his fingers in his hair. His bare thighs brushed across the rough denim of Chris' jeans. "I missed you." "I was gone for like 20 minutes, Chris rumbled, a mischievous smirk denting his cheeks. It was 20 very long minutes." Ajax stole another kiss before he released him. "Why did you purchase masks?" "Because we're going to an event tonight. It's a BDSM New Orleans-themed masquerade party." He quirked a dark eyebrow, mouthing his words again with an affirmative nod. "Yep." "Interesting. Why are we going?" "Because I've never been to a BDSM New Orleans." "Aw fuck, you get it. I've never been to one." "It's a job, isn't it?" "No," Chris scoffed. "No. This is for fun." "Chris." "What?" Ajax fixed a hard gaze on Chris, and Chris groaned. "All right, fine. It's a job. A small job. Nothing major, and I can take care of it first thing." Chris kissed Ajax's forehead, cupping his firm jaw in his hand and lifting his chin with his fingers. "Then it's you and I with all the toys, because I missed you too." He plastered his slender body against Ajax's bulkier form. Good. Tell me more about the job." "It's cut and dry. I'm a drug taxicab." "Of course. What could possibly go wrong there?" "Oh, don't say those words, baby. Now you know something will go wrong." He clucked his tongue. "With my luck, I'll have that sniveling rat Brody popping up trying to steal some side action." "Is he still sweet on you?" "He was never sweet on me, Chris." "Then how do you explain how he followed you around like a puppy for 5 years?" "We both liked video games." Ajax shrugged, his easy smile faltering. "I grew out of them faster than he did." "You need to be nicer to him. He's a good guy. Maybe he's not as smart as the rest of us, but remember what Ricky said. Everyone has a skill." Sure. Brody's skilled at being fucking annoying. Chris. Okay, fine. I'll play nice with the little weasel. I think I'm going to start inviting him to hang out with Trav and I. No, you're not, Chris growled, rearranging the masks and folding the paper bag. He tucked the bag under his arm as he moved to their twin backpacks resting against the wall. Ajax rolled his eyes, tucking wispy black curls behind his ear. Why not? Because I said so. Give me a better reason. I'm not part of whatever rift you have with Brody. I used to be his friend, and I want to resume being his friend. Because I don't trust him. Don't trust him or don't trust me. Do you really think I'm going to suddenly, miraculously want his cock? I'm not jealous, but I don't know his loyalties. What do you mean? I don't think he's loyal to us. You think there's another family of assassins out there somewhere he can join? I'm pretty sure we're the only family of assassins I've ever heard of. He can make a family, Jay. Don't think so, Linear. You're always trying to think the best of everyone, and one day it'll get you dead. You're paranoid, and I don't think being positive will get me killed. I think it's easier to live in a positive world instead of a negative world. So I'm inviting him unless you can drum up a better reason. Whatever. You play footsie with him all you want. Chris laid 2 pairs of black jeans across the bed. Ajax folded his arms over his chest. Are we going to this thing as a couple? Do you want to go as a couple? Ajax shrugged. I want to kiss you in public. So, we're going as a couple. Ajax pushed himself on the dark oak office table and placed his hands between his corded thighs. I'd like to, yeah. Done, but you're wearing the purple mask and this shirt. Chris tossed him a patterned button-down shirt. Whatever. Ajax leaned back on the desk. What time do you want to leave for the event? Dunno. I'm meeting my client at 9. I think the event starts around 7:30 or 8. We're arriving at 8:30 then? Ajax scanned the blinking alarm clock on the bedside table. It flashed 4:13. What do you want to do for the next 3 hours then? Oh well damn. I don't right know. I mean, I guess we could nap or something, since it's going to be a real late night. Chris' southern drawl stained his words. Ajax peeled his shirt over his head, tossing it to the ground before looking back towards Chris. I guess we could nap. The slope of his belly tightened, and a ripple of sharp-cut abs surfaced. A boyish grin highlighted Chris' features as his eyes traced Ajax's body, lingering on his crotch. Keep going. Ajax's fingers disappeared under the hem of his black briefs, and he inched them down his thighs. His thick cock slapped his belly as his waistband freed him, and he kicked his briefs off with his feet. Damn. Long strides closed the distance between them, and Chris sealed his lips over Ajax's, trapping him in a deep, desperate kiss. He placed his hands on either side of the other man's body and slipped in between his thighs. The rigid column of his cock met Ajax's. Still down for a nap? Ajax gasped as Chris moved from his lips to his neck, dotting kisses down to his collarbone. He reached between them, unbuttoned Chris' jeans and fondled him. His palm cupped him and 4 fingers caressed him. His thumb pet the head of Chris' cock. He groaned. Nah. Suddenly, I'm not so tired. Good. Damn, I missed you. Chris humped Ajax's hand, and Ajax squeezed and stroked him. There's a simple solution for next time. Don't take jobs half around the country. And don't leave me here if you do. Ajax's hands abandoned Chris' cock, exploring the planes of his lean chest. Chris rubbed himself against Ajax again, rolling his hips into the other man's firm belly. Ajax moaned. The fine hairs on the back of his neck prickled, and Ajax tugged Chris into another kiss. He rested a hand on the back of Chris' neck, and his tongue ventured forward, tracing Chris' full lips before slipping past them and exploring the chasmal depths of his mouth. Chris' hips stuttered, and his cock pulsed between them as their lips parted. The blush on his cheeks was the color of a rich, red wine. All right. Next time I'll take you with me. You know I'm taking every job I can get because I want out of this, and I want you out of this. I know. House in the woods, right? Living off the land. Ajax kissed Chris' forehead, combing tight curls. Hunting? Maybe a garden for me, since you're the sharpshooter. Chris traveled down Ajax's body, trapping one brown nipple between his lips and swirling his tongue around it. Ajax arched. Phewick. Why yeah, he whispered, leaning all the way back on the counter. His excitement swelled inside of him, his cock burned, and he rolled his hips into Chris' stomach, grinding into a dust of coarse hair. Suck me. Chris chuckled, releasing Ajax's nipple and exhaling cool breath against his puckered skin. Of course, baby. He kissed down his chest, lips brushing over his navel as he crouched in front of him. Strong fingers wrapped around Ajax and squeezed. His tongue passed across the tip, teasing the opening as Chris flicked sparkling eyes up to his partner. Damn. Ajax propped himself up and moaned again. His fingers burrowed in Chris' hair and urged him closer, but Chris was staunch and unyielding. He swirled his tongue around the thick shaft of Ajax's cock, licking up the sides with a growl. When he finally sucked him into his mouth, Ajax groaned. His head dropped back on his shoulders and his eyelids fluttered. That's so good. I like what you're doing. Chris squeezed him again and twisted his hand as he stroked the length of Ajax's shaft, sending waves of pleasure up the other man's spine. He worked his jaws around him, pushing him to the back of his throat each time until saliva coated Ajax's shaft. His lips shined with moisture. Rumbling, he sat back on his heels. His lips grazed over Ajax's thighs, and he panted against Ajax's skin. Ajax's cock twitched in Chris' hand. Why are you stopping? Fuck. Don't stop. I love how greedy you are. Chris licked from the center of Ajax's balls, all the way up to the head of his cock. A clear bead of saliva dripped from his lips. My mouth needs a break. Fuck. Ajax groaned, hips arching as Chris teased. Trying to make me come on your face? Chris swirled his tongue around Ajax's cock, moaning. Trying to get my dick buried in your ass? Keep talking and I'll put it there. He dragged his tongue down Ajax's length. He licked down the underside of his cock, between his balls, and all the way to his entrance. He lapped upwards and repeated the process. Ah fuck. Your tongue feels so good. A light sheen of sweat painted Ajax's shoulders, soaking the roots of his feathery hair. His cock bubbled with pre-cum, and Chris licked it away with a satisfied moan, working Ajax into his mouth again. Ajax bumped the back of Chris' mouth and pushed into Chris' tight throat. He rolled his hips against Chris' mouth as the office table vibrated under him. The vibrations paused and revved again. Damn. Ajax melted. Chris sucked harder. Ah. I should check it. Ajax curved his spine, thighs closing around Chris' face. A hand stretched across the table, feeling for his cell phone with quivering fingers. Let it go to voicemail, Chris growled, stroking his cock faster. And no. Let me just, Ajax twisted, grabbing his phone and peering at the screen. It's D, I need to answer. Chris pursed his lips around Ajax's cock, reeling back with him still in his mouth until he popped free. Ajax gasped into the phone receiver. Hello? Jay? D's firm voice filled his ear, and he pushed Chris back with one leg, grabbing his shirt and covering his softening cock. Hey. What are you doing? I called Chris twice and he didn't answer. You know where he is? I worry about him, you know? Chris nibbled Ajax's thighs with a grin on his angular face. Why you called him? Oh. He's here. We're both here. Ajax closed his legs and sat up, inching backwards on the table. Y'all are safe? Yeah. We're safe. What have I told y'all about answering the phone? Ain't no point in having it, if you're not going to pick it up when I call. Especially when you're all around the country doing God knows what. I answered. I know, kid, but Chris didn't. Right, so why are you lecturing me? I can hand the phone to him for you. Chris shook his head, standing and kissing Ajax's cheek. Brat, he whispered, wrapping his arms around Ajax. Yeah, put him on. He needs to hear this. But you don't go anywhere, I got a job for you both. Okay. Ajax pressed the speaker button and cradled the phone in his hand. He can hear you now, D. Hey there, old man. Aha. What'd I tell you about answering your phone? I was busy. Doing what? Clipping your crusty toenails? Close. Chris laughed. Ajax jabbed him in the side with his elbow. We were getting ready for a nap. All I'm saying is I don't know why I pay for phones when you two barely answer. The phone is a security measure. When I call you on this line, you have to answer. I thought we covered this? We did, sir. Chris winked at Ajax. If you don't answer, I'ma start calling everybody. I'll geolocate your phone and get Ricky over there to check up on you. That's what I'll do. I'll call the police. You're lying. You want to find out? Dee challenged. No, sir. Ajax chuckled. What did you call for, Pops? Well, I think I may have a job for us all. It's a pretty big project, but the client is paying a good penny. I know you boys are trying to get a place for us out in the country, ain't ya? A place for me and Jay, and a guest house for you, old man. Chris laughed. But yeah. Where you at right now? I'm staying by Jake's. Y'all come by here in the next few days and we'll talk business. Okay, we'll be there. Ajax smiled at Chris, stealing a kiss to his cheek. Good. Hey, one more thing. Y'all seen Brody lately? Yeah. We see him around sometimes. I was. Chris jabbed Ajax in the side and Ajax scowled. What? We see him around sometimes. Nothing else. What about him? Y'all need to keep an eye on him. He's having a tough time with jobs and adjusting to life on the road. He ain't got a best friend like you two, so take him in a bit. We'll see what we can do, old man. Ajax snorted. Yeah, all right, good. This is good. Okay. I'll talk to you kids later. Remember, answer your phone. Later, Pops. Ajax smiled. See ya, old man. The call ended with 3 short beeps, and Ajax tossed his phone to the side. His flaccid cock rested on his thigh as he looked at Chris. He called you already. Yeah. I felt it in my pocket. Why the hell didn't you answer? Ajax punched Chris' shoulder. Well, you see. I had my head between someone's legs and my mouth on someone's cock. I was a little busy. Chris sank back to his knees between Ajax's thighs, sucking one of his balls into his mouth. Yeah, but you know how he gets. Ajax's breath hitched. Let's move to the bed. He pushed Chris back and slithered off the table, moving over to the bed and stretching out over it. Why? I was fine over there. Sure. Get on top of me and do something. I want to come, and then I want to nap for your party later. Right. Chris shucked his jeans off his thighs and ripped his shirt over his head, tossing them in a pile on the floor. He crawled onto the bed, covering Ajax with his body and kissing the other man's clavicle. What do you want? You know what I want. Ajax pet Chris' shoulders, blunt nails denting his skin. They arrived at the event hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder, with Ajax standing a hair higher than Chris. A patterned shirt stretched across his broad chest, and the black mask covered his eyebrows, the bridge of his nose, and the slope of his high cheekbones. His full lips curled into a smile as Chris led him inside, opening the door for him and guiding him to the bar, kissing his bare jawline as their fingers slipped apart. What you want to drink, baby? Chris grinned, slouching into the seat next to him and tapping the counter. His eyes brimmed with excitement only a job could give him. Rum and Coke is fine. Ajax leaned into Chris, as another person collapsed into the seat on the other side of him. The masked stranger quirked her lips into a smile at Ajax and ordered a bottle of beer from the second bartender, as Chris ordered from the first. Her cascade of brown curls bounced on her shoulders at her bubbly movements. She turned the beer up against her lips as soon as she received it, guzzling half before stopping for a breath and smacking her lips. She licked her lips as she inhaled. Hi, cutie. She winked at Ajax, spinning in her chair and peering into the crowd of dancing people. He noticed a light sheen of sweat on her exposed chest and shoulders. A collar cut the long line of her neck, and a lock sat between her collarbones. "Hi." Ajax's cheeks warmed, and he turned back to Chris, who was also watching the crowd. "You're going to have to relax, dork. You're wearing a mask." Chris roped an arm around Ajax's muscled torso, thumb stroking his hips through his cotton shirt. "I know, but this is new. People aren't even fucking yet. I think the main event happens later. Or in the rooms or something. Hell, I don't know. I've never been to a sex club. And yet we're here." Ajax grinned. "Well, you know why we're here, baby. What do you think about fucking in one of the rooms later? After you meet your friend?" "Afterbands are weighing down my pockets," Chris growled into Ajax's ear, squeezing his hip. "You're terrible." "I can't help it." The girl beside Ajax smiled. "You two are really cute. I just wanted to let you know. Is this you guys' first time here?" Her green eyes twinkled behind a dark orange mask. "Yeah, he was interested in seeing what a BDSM masquerade party really entails. We're kind of new to the whole thing." Chris grinned towards the girl, hiking his thumb towards Ajax. "I mean, sometimes he likes it when I spank him over my knee and tell him he can't come, but we've never really been around the scene." "Really?" Ajax pressed his lips together, glaring at Chris. "Oh, I like spanking too. You get close just from spanking? So sexy." Her painted lips spread into a smile. "I know. No, he's being silly. You don't like spanking?" "No, I do. He's just... It's okay to have kinks. You want to know another of mine? I like calling my man daddy." The girl bit her bottom lip, suppressing a naughty smile. Her eyes glittered at her own confession. "Naughty?" Chris' eyes sparkled too. "So is daddy here somewhere?" "Not tonight. He's working, but I'm here with a friend." She paused, peeking over the crowd. "He's somewhere. He said he went to the bathroom, but probably got lost talking to people." "Special friend?" Chris grinned. "No. Okay, honestly, he's my brother. Is it weird for me to come here with my brother?" "Nah. Perfectly normal to come watch people bump and grind next to blood." Chris laughed. "We're kind of a close family, honestly. And we've been through a lot." The girl smiled, glancing around the crowd again. "Oh, there he is." She waved her hand in the air, straightening her back. A boy with a build mirroring hers and a more understated gold mask approached them, leaning into his sister. "Ah. I swear I've never seen so many sagging tits in my life." His full lips quirked into a stunning smile. His pale green eyes glistened. "Hey bro." "Hey sis. You found men?" "They're gay, so not technically." "Bisexual." "We're both bisexual," Chris corrected. "Or well, I'm bisexual. He calls himself pansexual or something." "Pansexual. It's not about gender for me, is all. It's about the person." Ajax chewed his bottom lip, glancing at the newcomer. "I like it." His plump lips split his face in half with a smile, showing pearly white teeth. "I'm sort of pansexual, like, with people I'll date. But I'm going to be honest, I really like cock in my mouth." His sister giggled. "Tell me how you really feel." "I really like cock in my mouth," he repeated, still grinning. His neck was naked. "So y'all come here to hang out?" "No. It's sort of our father's event, so we kind of snuck in. We used to sneak in when we were younger just to see, hide behind the bar. But now, since we're older, it's a little different." "Huh. So you bleed green?" "I bleed red." The boy rolled his eyes at Chris and looked at Ajax. "You're quiet." "He's nervous." "Why?" The boy ordered a bottled beer as well, leaning against the counter. "No one here bites without permission. You don't have to play either. You can just watch. It's like live porn." Maybe live sex freaks him out, the girl shrugged. It's a lot, but it's nicer than I expected, Ajax sighed, sipping his watery liquor. So? Hey shit. I gotta go. Chris patted Ajax's back, kissed his cheek, and then peered at their new friends. Sorry, I need to take care of something, but I should be back in a few. Ajax squeezed Chris' hand. Hurry. And be safe, he whispered into the shell of Chris' ear. Sure. All right. Nice meeting y'all in case you're gone when I get back. Chris grinned. He downed his drink, pushing the glass away as he stood. He saluted the pair and kissed Ajax's cheek for a second time. Ajax watched Chris' departure until he became a ghost in the crowd, then he turned back to the siblings. So you guys are new? The boy asked. Yeah. He's into spanking, right? Yeah, Ajax's dark cheeks burned. Yeah. We haven't explored much else, but I'm interested in the dominance and submissive thing. Which one are you? The boy stole Chris' cooling seat, propping his head in his hands as he regarded Ajax. Both? Can I be both? You can. I mean, I think you can, but you'll get some people around here who think you can only be one or the other. A true submissive or a true dominant. Sounds elitist. Ajax smirked, drowning in the boy's pale green eyes. It kind of is. I think it's just a way for insecure dominants to control submissives. Like submissive shaming. Explain. Basically, for something to be true, it means that other things are false, right? If a dominant is looking for a true submissive, the other submissives who don't fit the definition aren't real submissives. It's stupid. Yeah, I guess so. This is new to me, so I haven't much thought about it. Okay, the girl tossed her hair over her shoulder, you two are boring. I'm going to go dance. She hopped off her bar stool, squeezing her brother's arm and smiling. Behave. I'll be on the dance floor if you need me. Sure. He sipped his drink, hiding an impish smile. What's the deal with her necklace? It has a locket on it. Oh. The boy smiled, a little color coming to his pale cheeks. It's an ownership thing. So there are plenty of ways to be submissive. There's service-oriented submissive, a submissive only during play, a submissive outside the bedroom. So on. My sister. Well, she's a 24/7 submissive with her man. Which means she listens to him all the time. Basically, yes. She had to get permission to come tonight? Sounds annoying. Yes, but it's their kink. She's turned on by asking for permission and having him control her life, and he's turned on by it too. I don't see the appeal of controlling someone's life. It's okay. It's not your kink, and it's not mine either. What other stuff are you into? Or things you want to try? Specifically BDSM stuff? Yes. We can check out some of the rooms and watch if you want. Oh. Don't be shy. No one else is. Right? I like it rough. Sure. Who doesn't? I don't know. I don't know then of any other kinks. OMG. You're so new it hurts. Come on. Let's take a walk. The boy presented his hand to Ajax, palm facing the sky. I should wait here for my friend to come back. You have a cell phone, right? Yeah. He can call you. The boy snatched Ajax's hand and strolled through the establishment. So the most common kinks are like rope bondage, blindfolding, restraints. Isn't rope bondage the same as restraints? Yes and no. Ropes will restrain the other person, true, but the rope is about the design. It's a Japanese thing. Hibachi, hibari or something. You don't know what it's called? I'm not into it, so no? You can't see my eyebrows right now, but I'm giving you a look. Good to know. Ajax chuckled. Wait, what are you? I'm a person holding your hand, in the middle of a club, in the city, in the United States, on Earth, part of the solar system, part of the Milky Way galaxy. You need to be more specific. He winked. Ajax exhaled in a soft laugh. I mean, are you submissive? Or dominant? What do you think? The boy smiled. I think submissive. Everyone guesses submissive because I'm short and skinny. He escorted Ajax down the hallway. Are you? He shrugged. Maybe. His green eyes glittered. Maybe you'll find out. Maybe. So what else? We were talking about different kinks. You said it was thumbs down for rope bondage, didn't you? Yeah, kinda thumbs down. It's pretty, the knots, but I'm just not into sitting around and waiting for someone to tie intricate knots and take a picture for naughty social media. Some people say it's about meditation or something, but if I wanted to meditate, I could go to weekly yoga classes. Yoga classes? Yes. The thing with the mat and downward doggy. He giggled. Right? Never been. It's okay. You don't look like the yoga type. Let me see. There's the dominatrix thing, there's leather wax. Oh, there's consensual non-consent. It's one of my favorites. The fuck is consensual non-consent? His cheeks filled with color. Like rape fantasies, I guess. You know, like if I say it's okay for you to act out a rape fantasy, you don't have to ask me about every individual part of rape, because I approve the whole fantasy. So like, you don't have to ask if you can be rough and pin me down because I already consented to the fantasy of rape. Oh. Ajax groaned under his breath, seeing the room in a new light as he glanced away from the younger man's graceful form and around the hallway. He glimpsed into the nearby rooms before his eyes traveled back to the boy. You like it too? Why yeah. It sounds hot. So you're single? He laughed. Maybe. I don't have to be single for us to play together. But right now we're talking. Right? Talking. Have you done the non-consent consensual before? With my ex, yes. He was my last BDSM partner. Oh. We don't have to talk about it if it's sensitive for you. It's not. We did consensual non-consent a lot, and it covered most of our other kinks like spanking, orgasm denial, free use, rough play, mild pain. He trailed off, still listing various kinks. Ajax sighed, leaning into him as a couple passed them. A suited man in an understated black mask walked in front of a half-dressed woman wearing an ornate mask, a collar and cuffs on her wrists. The boy rested a hand on Ajax's chest, and his muscles twitched under his shirt. He cleared his throat. Sorry. Am making space. I see. It's okay, you smell good. Thanks. Ajax glanced after the couple. Another lifer. It's what I call them. People who do the 24/7 submissive thing. I call them lifers because it's nothing more than being imprisoned by the person you think you love. Yeah. Maybe it works for some. Ajax shrugged. What's free use? Free use is exactly how it sounds. It's where no one is ever denied sex, or basically a man's ultimate fantasy. It's fun sometimes. Like if you do it for a week, but all the time is too much for me. My ass needs a break. Oh. Consensual non-consent and free use go together. It takes away the choice. You know when your partner wants it, you're going to do it. Even if you're not in the mood yet. It's happening. I can see the appeal. Ajax sucked his bottom lip. Yes. The boy grinned, moving right along. There's other stuff. I mean, you name it, it's a kink. The only things I find particularly weird are age play and the daddy-dom little girl thing. You have to explain. Age play is when adults will pretend to be a different age, usually younger. One adult will be the baby or the little, and the other will be older. It has many different avenues, but yeah. The daddy-dom little girl specifically refers to a man being the guardian, and the woman being the little. It always strikes me as weird since women are already treated as less than. He shrugged. Not my kink. I can tell. Though I'd definitely call a nice sexy older man daddy and let him spank me. The boy shivered, biting his bottom lip. Pink flames swirled over his cheeks. You're working yourself up. Ajax chuckled. We are at a sex party. I believe this is the place to do it, isn't it? Yeah, I guess. You want to finish showing me around? Yes. The boy chuckled, threading his fingers with Ajax's and continuing down the wide hallway. We could get lost on this tour, you know. Oh yeah? Ajax squeezed the boy's hand. Very lost. The boy led Ajax to a little alcove at the end of the long hallway, grabbing the sides of his shirt and pulling him closer. So lost we'll need a map and compass to find our way back. Will a search party be necessary? Ajax rumbled. It depends. He tipped his head up, brushing his lips across Ajax's. Ajax groaned. Shouldn't I know your name or something? It's a masquerade party. So? The point is to be anonymous. I want to call you something. Okay. Call me Joe. And I'll call you Liam. Liam? It's a sexy name. Don't question it. A grin sprouted on the boy's face. My real name is better. Oh yeah? He brushed his lips along Ajax's chin as his smile spread across his face. What letter does it start with? A. Adam? Aaron? Abel? No to all of them. Ajax chuckled. You'll be guessing for a while. The boy feigned a pout as moonstruck eyes danced. Okay, Liam. Kiss me. You're a little weird. Horny. Same thing, Joe. Ajax obliged, and their lips connected. He tasted peppermint honey and the bitter taste of beer on the boy's lips. It excited him. The boy sighed into the kiss and rolled his hips up to Ajax. The front of his exclusive designer slacks pressed into Ajax's worn dark jeans, and the hard line of his cock pressed into Ajax. He backed him into the wall and pressed his palms on either side of the boy. He inched closer until their bodies were meshed together. He kissed him again. Tell me more about you and your boyfriend. What about us? Ajax ran his nose along the boy's neck. How did you meet? You want to talk about my boyfriend right now? Why not? It's weird, I guess. I want to hear about something you think is sexy. He nibbled his lips, fingering the buttons on Ajax's shirt. Oh, like a fantasy. Sure, yes. The boy's hand slid up Ajax's chest and around his neck. What if I told you what I wanted to do with you right now? Okay. I want to suck your cock. Ajax shifted against him. He chuckled. Okay? Tell me how. Like describe it? My God, yes. I want to start between your balls and go all the way up to the head of your cock, Ajax murmured, hardening more in his jeans. Yeah? The boy rubbed them together, ridge against ridge. Yeah. And then all the way back down. Then I want to get you in my mouth, my lips around you. I'd like it. Seeing your lips around my cock. He reached between their bodies and touched his palm to the outside of Ajax's jeans. Good. I want to taste you on my tongue. Ajax browsed the boy's neck. Really? A deep voice rumbled. You do love a dick in your mouth. Ajax's cheeks burned, and he buried his face before turning to Chris. Hey. You met your friend. Yeah, and we have a problem. Your buddy is here. Chris folded his arms across his chest. Who? The boy caged by Ajax's arms cleared his throat. Chris stared at him. You know. I should go. His hands fell away from Ajax and he ducked under his arms. Yeah, you should. See you around. He murmured, wiggling his fingers to Ajax. He glanced at Chris, ducking his head. Bye. Yeah. Chris' stare was unwavering. The boy disappeared in the crowd. Ajax hissed. What, Chris? Didn't expect you'd find someone to play with. He found me. Who's here? Brody's here. And he needs our help. Why? Because he got his dumbass in more shit than he can swallow. I'll explain in a minute. Come on. Chris grabbed Ajax's arm, yanking him out of the little hideaway and strolling through the mass of strangers. He slowed once he entered the main room again, roping his arm around Ajax's shoulders and leaning into him. Why are you volunteering to help Brody? The job pays more than he's worth, and he said he'd give me 70% if I helped him out. Of course this is about money. Your heart is cold and dead. You haven't heard the job yet either. Do you know who's hosting this party? Should I? The Cromwells. I need more information. The dad owns a private escort club, which is a front business for the rest of everything else. This place here is a glorified whorehouse. So? People can do their lives. I don't see the problem. The problem is someone related to old man Cromwell's biggest competitor is here tonight, and Cromwell is paying Brody to make a hit. Brody can't do it? Brody found the guy, but his bitch ass is chickening out. It's his first hit, apparently. What's he been doing up until this point? Heists, I guess. Or simple B&Es. I guess. So what is your plan? Still thinking. Brody said they're offering 10 grand more if we can abduct the person and hand them over instead of kill them on the spot. This is a job for Rain. It is, but right now we're doing it, so deal. You're doing it. I'm no part of this. You want to live in the house, don't you? Chris' dark eyes turned frigid, and he swiveled his attention to Ajax. We're doing this now. Ajax grimaced. Fine. Find him, say your girl is interested in doing a three-way, and get a room. I'll be waiting inside the room. Ajax stepped away from Chris. Where's Brody? Fuck if I know. Ajax sighed, rubbing his temples. Whatever. Message me with the room number, and keep me updated on your progress. I'm going to go find Brody. He pecked Chris' cheek and moved through the crowd, dark eyes surveying each person. He knew Brody, his build, his style, the heavy straight hair on his head. He combed the main room, weeding through small collections of people as he made his way to the entrance and out of it, glancing towards the full parking lot. Smokers mingled at the door, enjoying their coruscated cigarettes in the inky night. Ajax approached them. Hey, can I bum one? He rumbled, meeting the eyes of a slender female with white blonde hair. Sure. You need a light too? She handed him a cigarette and fished her lighter out of her bra. Yeah, thanks. He put the cigarette to his lips as she lit it for him, and he squinted at the bright orange cherry. He inhaled a long drag and exhaled. Thanks. He found his own secluded spot on the wall, leaning against it. He folded one arm over his chest and propped his elbow over it. He closed his eyes after his second drag and dropped his head back against the wall, blowing smoke into the dark sky. His mind wandered back to the boy, his achingly green eyes, and the youthful innocence of their interaction. He replayed the boy's voice, his sing-song laughter coloring every word from his lips. Chris wasn't capable of such a lightness, but Ajax craved it. He craved a life beyond killing for a living, a life where reading in an armchair in front of the fireplace after a hard day's work was the reality. The boy reminded him of such a life. Those thoughts lifted the corners of his lips into a smile. He enjoyed drag after drag of the cigarette, letting the hot smoke and sharp menthol burn his throat. AJ? C didn't tell me you were here too. Brody. Ajax cracked his eyes open and turned his head. I was looking for you. The long slender beak of Brody's mask brushed Ajax's shoulder. Really? Surprise colored his tone. Yeah. C told me about the job. Why'd you take it if you couldn't handle it? I don't know. I thought I could. I mean, you guys do. Rain does. Hell, even Trav has taken a few rough jobs before. You shouldn't try to be like everyone else. It's okay if you never take hard jobs, you know. Ajax flicked the ash from his cigarette. What are you doing next week? Don't know. Brody's frail shoulders shrugged up to his ears. I was going to go by Trav's and crash for a few days. You should join us if you're not busy. Really? Brody blinked, brown eyes peeping up to Ajax's face. Yeah, really. His surprised expression changed to a relieved smile. Cool. Should I bring something? Like snacks? Ajax smirked. No, just yourself is all. Right on. So, you helping with the job? Yeah. What was your plan to get the mark alone? I didn't think about it. I'm not good with making up stories. I wanted to seem friendly, but I don't think I was, and I didn't want to start following the guy all around the club. Right? Thinking on your feet was always hard for you. I'm not saying you're dumb, I just mean being able to improvise doesn't come naturally for everyone. Not even sure if effortless lying should come easily for everyone. It's easy for C, Brody frowned, fixing his gaze on his worn loafers. Sort of. He no longer knows the truth from his own stories. Ajax grinned. You want to know the secret to thinking on your feet? Yeah. Please. Overhearing other people's conversations and remembering the details. The more input you have, the easier the output is. It's hard making stuff up. It's easy to repeat something you've already heard because it's more credible. Think about it. Let me finish this and we can find Chris. Ajax wagged his cigarette. Brody shuddered. Ajax lost himself in his own thoughts again, as the other man leaned against the wall beside him, shoulders brushing against each other. He sensed Brody's growing anxiety and felt his muscles twitch under his olive skin. You're scared of Chris? No. A little cold. All right. He tossed the cigarette from his fingers, stepping on it with the heel of his boots and grinding it into the ground as he dug his phone out of his pocket. Ajax reviewed a series of annoyed messages. He swiped through them with a sigh. He's got your mark already. Okay. Brody's voice shook. Let's just get this over with. Ajax clapped Brody on the back and walked alongside him back into the building. He said room 7. They cruised down the hall, pausing in front of a ruby-red door with streaks of peeling paint. Knuckles tapped against the door, and he pushed it open. The door creaked, tired hinges expressing their exhaustion. Where is he? Chris snarled, his lips curling over his teeth. Move, Jay. And let me at him. Fire blazed in his eyes. Why? Chris growled and threw Ajax's bulky body against the wall, pinning him in place. Don't make me fight you. He retreated and snatched Brody into the room by his shirt, swinging the door closed at the same time. His other hand balled into a fist and reared back, elbow pointing to the sky. I'm sorry, Brody cried, shielding his face with his hands. Don't be a bitch. Take your licks. Chris' eyes were cavernous black holes swallowing the light in the room. He was mechanical in his movements, and his fist connected with Brody's face. The wet sound of flesh on flesh pierced the air. Brody cried again. Chris punched him a second time square in the nose, and Brody howled with pain, quivering under Chris' towering body. Chris wiped his pink knuckles on Brody's shirt before releasing him. You know the rules. I didn't know at first. I promise. He stumbled to his knees, bracing himself on the ground with one hand. What did he do, Chris? Ajax lifted his chin, glaring down his nose at Brody. The softness evaporated from his eyes as he watched Brody's skin color with bruises. Chris kicked Brody in the side, digging his steel-toed boot into Brody's rib cage. Tell him what you did. Ajax looked away, affixing his gaze on the wine bar across the room. He squinted at the labels. Brody gasped and curled his arms around his body, shielding his organs from Chris' assault. The mark. It's a child. A girl child too. He forgot these details. Where is she? In a different room. I didn't want to traumatize her more. Figured she was already going through enough shit if someone hires an assassin to grab her. Chris sneered down at Brody. You're pathetic. And everyone knows it. Chris. You're done. Let him finish his job. Chris stepped over Brody. And to think you let D talk you into helping this fool, he sneered, stopping in front of Ajax and hooking his thumbs in his jeans. He squared his shoulders. Yes, dear? You're an ass. Give me your keys, I'm going to wait in the car. Leave this man here and send my boyfriend outside. Ajax extended his hand but then scoffed and dug into Chris' pockets, seizing the keys to their old white sedan. We have to police ourselves. Sure. I'll see my boyfriend back at the car. Well, then your boyfriend is going to have a drink. My boyfriend better drink water. Ajax stalked from the room, sighing as he walked through the building. The event had lost its fire. The laughter and dancing bedeviled Ajax as he swam through the crowd. He reached the door with no issue, but as he stepped across the metal threshold, someone tapped his shoulder. I'm going, he groused. It's me. Joe, a soft voice replied. Ajax paused, tipping his head forward before turning around. His eyelids fluttered as he looked down at him. Hey. I've got to go. He stepped out of the doorway, touching the boy's shoulder and guiding him out of the way as well. Why? Ajax shook his head, glancing towards the bar counter and watching Chris' lean frame sink into a chair. The bartender settled a drink next to the other man's hands. I have a lot going on right now. Your boyfriend? Did I upset him? No. This has nothing to do with you. He touched the boy's exposed cheek, peering into his luminous eyes. His teeth pinched his bottom lip as his excitement from earlier swirled inside him, returning with a vengeance. Promise? I didn't mean to cause trouble for you. Promise. You didn't. It was fun. We could continue where we left off? Ajax shook his head. We shouldn't. I need to go. The boy scowled, leaning into the wall and arching his back. His eyes closed before opening again, and he looked up at Ajax through a shade of dark lashes. Fine. But next party you'll be here? I can't, Ajax pursed his lips, drowning in the boy's hopeful eyes. You know what? Yeah, I'll be here. He sighed, glancing at the bar again before leaning into the boy. His muscles twitched and he kissed him, lingering there as the world fell away around him. His worries dissolved, and a youthful energy filled him. He ended the chaste kiss with a sigh. Promise? The boy whispered his demand. I promise. Ajax touched his wavy brown hair, combing the wild locks around the boy's face. He scrutinized the boy's features, watched his eyes glaze with moisture and his lip quaver. I said I promise. I know. He set his face, throwing himself into Ajax's arms. Slender arms roped around Ajax's neck. Sweet dreams, okay? Yeah. The sweetest. The boy's arms slid away, and a smile touched his face. He turned and faded into the crowd. Ajax bristled, staring after him. He resettled his emotions, swallowing them down as they buoyed to the surface. He exited the building and climbed into the driver's side of the sedan. He sank into the cracked leather seats, turning the key in the ignition and listening to the radio. He changed the station from smooth-sounding bedroom tunes to callous songs by angry artists and folded his arms across his chest. The songs cycled through their 30-minute commercial-free playlist and restarted again with a song by an artist Ajax had already heard. Chris emerged from the building, walking with a lazy gait towards the vehicle. 3 beers. Not quite drunk, but damn close. Ajax whispered as Chris approached and fumbled with the driver's side door. When the other man opened the door, Ajax looked at him. Move over, baby. I'll drive us home. How many drinks have you had? Not too many. Chris scowled. Enough to take the edge off. Still angry, though. Can't believe I fucking accosted a kid today. A damn kid. Sometimes it happens. You're not a bad person because of the kid. I feel like a bad person. Chris groaned, collapsing against Ajax, burrowing his face into the other man's shoulder. The smell of alcohol assaulted his nose. You are a bad person. Ajax quirked his lips. You shouldn't have gone so hard on Brody. He's trying, I think. Yeah? I didn't see you stopping me, did I? Ajax shrugged. I wasn't expecting you to go into him, like you did. Besides, I'm telling you now. You should call him and smooth things over. Hard pass. I'm not smoothing a damn thing over with someone who fucks with kids. You letting me drive or what? Or what? Walk around the car and get in on the other side. Chris glared at Ajax, raising his dark eyebrows. You're brushing your teeth before you get in bed. You smell like someone bathed you in beer. Chris shut the driver's door and climbed in the passenger side. He snapped his seatbelt on and leaned back in the seat. He snored, falling into a light doze as Ajax drove the hour back to the hotel room and parked the vehicle in front of their hotel room's door. Chris stirred when Ajax turned off the car, arching in the seat and tipping his head to Ajax. You're really upset about Brody. Yeah. Actually, I am. Ajax climbed out of the vehicle, tucking the keys in his pocket and pulling the room's keycard from his wallet. He slipped it into the door, turning the knob when the angry red light turned green. Ajax kicked off his shoes and threw his mask on the counter. Tense fingers unbuttoned his shirt, and tight shoulders shrugged out of it. Chris stood in the doorframe, leaning against the wall. What do you want me to do then? He folded his arms across his chest. Right now? I want you to step inside and close the door so the whole place doesn't hear our conversation. Chris closed the door. About Brody? I want you to apologize and make it up to him. Chris groaned, tossing his mask and rolling his eyes. He rested his head against the wall, exposing his neck. I'll think about it. Fuck. Wish his dumbass wouldn't have gotten mixed up with the Cromwells at all. Right? Exactly who are they? The Cromwells. Rich family, load of kids, brown hair, green eyes except the dad. He's blonde and blue-eyed with a scar straight down the middle of his face. Don't look nothing like his kids at all. You know him. Dee's done stuff for him until he found out he played dirty. Right? Tony. I remember now. Ajax frowned, putting his back to Chris as he unbuttoned his jeans and dropped them off his toned hips. Yeah. So anyway, who were you sucking face with all night? He looked cute from what I saw. I don't know. He said his name was Joe, and he called me Liam. Liam? Terrible name. He thought it was sexy. There's probably some famous boy band star with the name. Or actor or something, you know, shit regular people care about. What he look like? Ajax bit his bottom lip, sucking it before releasing it with a sigh. Nothing special. Brown hair, slim build, typical bottom. Nothing special? Then how'd he get your mouth on his? He's witty and cute. I don't know. He gave me a tour, and we talked about kinky stuff. He wanted me to tell him about us. He wasn't bothered? Didn't seem it. Ajax shivered. You're not jealous, are you? Not at all, as long as no one else puts their cock in your ass. Your ass is mine, but you can do what you want with your dick. Ajax shivered again. Right? Understood. He exhaled, combing his fingers through his hair as he searched the room. What did he want to know about us? Chris pushed himself from the wall and stalked across the room, pressing his front into Ajax's back. His hot breath tickled Ajax's neck, and the smell of alcohol hovered around him. Ajax sighed. I didn't tell him about us. I told him how I wanted to suck his cock. Or I started to, until you interrupted. He twisted in Chris' arms. I hate when you smell like booze. Goosebumps raced down his arms and the thin fabric of his boxer briefs grew tight. All right. Chris brushed his lips along Ajax's. I'll go wash up. The taste of beer was still on his lips and Ajax's jeans bulged. And no. It's fine. I'm tired. Ajax's hands curled in Chris' shirt and he dragged him to the bed, sitting on the edge. He unbuckled Chris' aged leather belt and extracted his cock from his pants. Chris groaned, spine and hips curving forward. His cock hardened in Ajax's hand. He thought you were tired. I am. I'm too tired to wait for you to clean up. I want you now. Ajax swirled his tongue around Chris' cock, flicking his eyes up to the other man's face. He kissed the side of Chris' cock, cradling him in his hands with a little smile on his lips. Damn. Chris groaned, placing a hand on Ajax's shoulder. How do you want me? Oh, it's my choice? Ajax kissed him again, sliding his tongue along velvety skin. Why yeah. It's yours. Chris' eyes narrowed as he looked down at Ajax. Fuck, you're good at sucking cock. I haven't done anything, Ajax teased, sucking him down his throat once before abandoning Chris' cock. He eased back on the bed, hooking his fingers under the waistband of his underwear and sliding them down his corded thighs. I don't want anything fancy. I just want you. Damn. All right. He roped an arm under Ajax's muscular legs and maneuvering him over the edge of the bed. Chris dug a condom out of his pocket, ripping it open with his teeth. I want to feel you. Ajax bit his lip, cheeks coloring as he spoke. He stared at the condom before dragging his eyes up to Chris' features, searching them with flaming cheeks. So no condom. Oh. El lube. Chris' voice broke, and he splayed his palm against Ajax's belly. His cock stiffened against the back of Ajax's thigh, brushing along silken skin. Why yeah. In the drawers. I checked earlier. Ajax arched. Chris stretched across Ajax, reaching into the drawer for an individual packet of lubricant. He tore it open with his teeth too, and spread it over his cock and Ajax's entrance. He stroked himself and massaged Ajax at the same time. You sure you want me to? Ajax nodded, spreading his legs apart and guiding Chris over him. He kissed him, lips brushing against his. He wrapped his arms around Chris' shoulders, burrowing his fingers in the other man's hair. I like how you feel on top of me, Ajax confessed, accenting his words with another kiss. Chris lined their bodies up and reached between them, routing himself to Ajax's entrance. He inched inside of him, bracing his hands on either side of the other man's broad body and trapping him in place. His back bent, and he rolled his body under Chris. He sucked in a deep breath and sighed over a shaky exhale. The back of his neck tingled, and his eyebrows knit together. He tensed and then relaxed around him as he worked all the way in. Fuck, Ajax groaned, arms tightening around Chris' shoulders, nails denting his skin. He rested his forehead against him, drawing in a deep breath of his scent. Yeah, you like it? Chris growled into Ajax's neck, imprinting his skin with a soft kiss. He rolled his hips in a circle and bridged in and out of him. Aha! Ajax moaned, sinking back into the bed. Their bodies moved together in raw synchrony, and each smooth step brought Ajax closer to the edge. His hips met Chris at every thrust. He curled his ass off the bed, meeting Chris in the air. Chris forced his back down. Sharp hips marred him. Pre-cum pooled on his firm belly, mixing with a sparkling sheen of sweat. Chris' brown skin gleamed in the dim light of the room, and his natural spice replaced the smell of alcohol. Chris trailed his pillowy lips along Ajax's stubbled jawline. Ajax's heart pounded in his chest, drumming against his ribcage at the dichotomy of Chris' sweet touches and his rough thrusts. See close, Ajax breathed into Chris' shoulder. I'm so close. Please. Please what? The corners of Chris' lips quirked up. His hips stuttered. His muscles jumped. Ajax licked his lips, pleasure pirouetted down his spine. His lips trembled and he groaned again. Come with me. Always, love. Ajax nodded, petting down Chris' sweaty back, nails painting stripes over his skin as his whole body seized. His muscles knotted, his breath hitched, and his eyes fluttered closed. All his bundled excitement raced through him, and he froze at every pulse of his orgasm. He lifted his hips from the bed in increments until he was flat against Chris, humping into his lean stomach. Their curly pubic hairs nodded, and he rubbed himself over Chris' tight belly. Aw fuck. Chris groaned. His hands curled in the sheets, and he responded to Ajax with jerking movements, moaning into his neck. Chris went rigid over him, stuttering hot puffs of breath on his skin, moans filtering through breathy sighs. Ah. Ajax's pulse raced. His cheeks burned as he collapsed into the bed, weak muscles melting into the firm mattress. Chris rocked his hips, eyebrows furrowing. He softened inside Ajax and slipped out. "Can I interest you in another round?" Ajax chuckled. "In a bit?" He bit his bottom lip. "Hey. I love you, you know." Chris flopped into the bed beside him, one arm draped over his chest. "Yeah, I know.